This is a really simple statement, really short, but it really has profound consequences. And once we start actually bringing this to a statement and we bring it to a state of being, that's when it becomes really, really powerful. And Gandhi is probably the best example of someone that lived this simple but yet profound truth. So for the overview of this short presentation, I'm going to go over the collective unconscious. How being against something really adds to the collective unconscious of whatever topic we're dealing with. Second, the legends, so like Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King are the three I'll briefly be talking about, how they embodied being for instead of against. Examples in chiropractic, so how we can be for things in chiropractic, not really against. And then a little analogy called the box of truth, which is kind of fun. And then the reality of unity to bring it all together. All right, so starting off with the collective unconscious. When I refer to the collective unconscious, I'm referring to like all the thoughts, opinions, fears, basically the accumulation of energy for any given topic. So it could be like vitalistic chiropractic versus evidence-based chiropractic. It could be pro-life versus pro-choice. Anytime there's a verse, it's one versus another, we kind of know there's some kind of collective unconscious going on there. So what adds to the collective unconscious? Is that whenever we're against something in our life, or we're divided inside, we're adding to the collective unconscious. So maybe we are really for vitalistic chiropractic, we want to spread that. But if we're coming in a divided state, and we just sort of like, oh, those damn evidence-based chiropractors, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't have their roots in philosophy. They don't know B.J. Palmer. Like, what are they doing here? And you have this divided state inside. What you're doing is your energy is saying you don't want vitalistic chiropractic. You're saying you want vitalistic chiropractic, but your energy is totally corrupting you. So this is something like Gandhi and these other people, they knew. And they knew that this was really profound to be for, not against. All right, now we're going to talk to you about them. So Gandhi's big quote was, "I am not against British rule, I'm for Indian independence." And he really, really made this clear to his followers. Whenever they started acting up, they became violent, he would bring them back, be like, guys, we're for Indian independence. He made this very, very clear. And a few other examples are Martin Luther King and Mother Teresa, so we have a couple quotes from them. Mother Teresa said, "I was once asked why I don't participate in anti-war demonstrations. I said that I will never do that, but as soon as you have a pro-peace rally, I'll be there." Martin Luther King would say, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that." So they all had their own way of going about it, but internally they were whole inside, they weren't divided. And they knew this was paramount to be effective in whatever they're activists about. Martin Luther King, it was racial equality. Gandhi, it was Indian independence. Mother Teresa is like poverty. They all have their different topic. Ours could be chiropractic, or it could be anything you want, but they know that the state of being is actually key to being successful. All right, next one. So some examples in chiropractic. A statement of being against could be like, I'm against medicine. A better statement would be, I'm for optimum health and well-being and vitalistic chiropractic. That would be a for statement. Another statement against would be, I hate diversified because it's so unspecific. Something better to say would be, I'm for, let's say, upper cervical because it's so specific and it's philosophically sound. One more could be, I don't like medically based chiropractic schools. They really should be abolished from chiropractic. There should only be vitalistic chiropractic schools. Something better to say would be a for statement would be, I'm very thankful we have vitalistic chiropractic schools like Life West, and I want to spread vitalistic chiropractic throughout the world. So the biggest thing is that we're coming from a place of unity and not division. If we start doing this as a profession, as chiropractors, we're going to be much more effective as chiropractors, and also just as human beings in general. Alright, and then we're going to go to the box of truth. Alright, so once upon a time there's this big box, and it had truth right inside. And there's people that were on each side of the box, and they all had their own perspective looking into the box of truth. They had their own hole looking into the truth. And this was all dandy and fun until they came together, and they started discussing what they saw. And they each had a different perspective about what they saw, what the truth was. And they just start becoming divided, they start arguing amongst each other, and get pissed off at each other, but no, my perspective is right, I I really know what is true. Well, they all knew what is true, but their different perspectives is what separated them. A lot of times it happens through language. So a good thing is to keep this in mind whenever maybe you start coming into an argument, or you see argument, or you see like violence in chiropractic first, evidence-based chiropractic, that you kind of maybe start seeing this little analogy that maybe there's two people looking at the same thing from a little bit different perspectives. Maybe there's an underlying truth to all of us and to all of the positions that we hold. There could be an underlying unity that connects us all. All right, next one. Reality of unity. So here's a quote from the Buddha. He who experiences the unity of life sees his own self in all beings, and all beings in his own self, and looks on everything with an impartial eye. So Buddha is referring to the unity of all things, that really all is one and one is all. That actually reality is in unity. It's not dual. And what happens is being for something is actually a natural expression of unity. Being against something is an expression of a division of being against. So what happens is when we're lined up with the universe, when we're for something, things work out a lot better for us. We can actually change the world like Gandhi did, or we can be a Martin Luther King. Once we're lined up, we are much better off, and it's much more easier to be effective human being, and we're actually going to be able to make positive change in this world. All right. My assertion to you is, if you start practicing this simple thing, just being for something instead of against, that it's going to start having a transformation in your life. That you'll start becoming kind of more relaxed in life. You'll start seeing the unity of all things. And you won't really kind of worry about, one perspective from another, that you'll kind of see an underlying truth beyond everything, actually unity that connects us all. That's really the major goal, is we can get to a state in our life, like Gandhi did, or Mother Teresa. And we don't have to be like so awesome at it, but if we start practicing it little by little, and we start doing this as chiropractors, we're going to be able to have a huge positive effect on our profession, and really just in our own life. Anywhere we touch, if we're coming before and not against, we're going to be a lot better off. Okay, thank you.